the Orange County IDA meeting for August 6th of 2025. I welcome all of you, and the time is now 5:23. Bill, would you do the roll call, please?
Sure. Jeffrey Christ.
Here.
Dr. Vincent Odock.
Here.
Mark Green. Dean Tamburri.
Here.
Linda Muller.
Here.
Giovanni Palladino.
Here.
6 members present, 1 excused absence. Also in attendance for staff, myself, Bill Duravanti, Marty Barras, Kelly Riley, Ethan Dubner, Dylan Burke handling our live stream. We have a number of guests: Connor Eckert, Andrew Higgins, Pierre Savar, John Bedell, Jeff Forsyth, those gentlemen representing the Balkan Project. We also have Lucas Arachi here from the Orange County Partnership, Steve Gross, Amanda Dana, and representing Cedar Lakes Estate, Lisa Carvelis and Jennifer Liu. That's all.
Very good. We do have proof of notice for this meeting, which is in the board packet. And it's been discussed between Bill and I that we adjust the agenda items and move down to new business. And with that, we would start the Balkan Corporation.
Should we do GTI first?
You know what? Yeah, my cheat notes are
Yep, okay.
the old agenda.
Right.
So we'll start with, GTI easement authorizing resolution, which is in a revised board packet.
Yes, this is being handled by our conflict counsel, Brad Schwartz of Zarin Steinmetz, pardon me. He's online. I'll just introduce this by saying you'll recall a few months ago for the Green Thumb GTI project, the cannabis manufacturer in Warwick. They came to us seeking our approval of an easement to allow a solar array to be built next to their facility in Warwick. But because we have a lease-back agreement with them, we have to sign off on that, which we did. Now we've come back again, another easement we need to approve, this time for Orange and Rockland to install a substation. They need an easement for that property, and again, they need our blessing. So that's the purpose of it. Brad, I'll leave the rest to you, please. And I did mute you, so please take yourself off, please. Good night.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Just to riff off Bill's intro, so GTI is proposing to sell a portion of its property to O&R. The connection with that sale of property, which would be to facilitate the development of the electrical substation. O&R needs to install underground electrical utility and distribution lines that would service that substation on a different portion of the property. And so in order to facilitate that easement agreement, given the lease-back agreement between your agency and GTI, again, GTI has requested the IDA's consent to that easement. This doesn't require or involve any additional financial assistance. This is simply, again, just consenting to an easement agreement to allow O&R to install underground utility lines on a portion of the GTI property. To foreshadow what lies ahead when the ultimate sale of a different portion of the property gets transferred to O&R to facilitate the substation, there may be some additional requests by GTI to facilitate that sale. But before the agency, the only item tonight is the consent to this easement for the underground utility lines.
And I would note that's in our revised board packet, starting on page 9, the easement grant. And then there's the authorizing resolution, starting on page 22. I might just check with council if you have any input on this easement request.
I cannot comment on the easement request, that's why.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The conflict counsel.
I'm sorry, that's what this gentleman's doing. I got mixed up.
Our council represented O&R, actually.
Okay,
So this-
yes.
It was tested.
Yes.
Good job, good job.
Any questions
Keep it
for,
really sharp.
yeah, any questions concerning this easement? Is there,
I've reviewed the entire easement, I've reviewed the consent form, so I'm comfortable with it. They're very comfortable again with what we did for, what your agency did for sole source a couple months ago.
thank you, Brad. Would anyone care to make a motion to approve that easement request? By Mark Green?
Second.
Dean, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Does this need to be a roll call vote?
Yes. Yes.
So roll call vote, please.
Jeffrey Christ,
In favor?
Dr. Odock,
In favor.
Mark Green,
In favor.
Dean Tamburri,
Yes.
Linda Muller,
Yes.
Giovanni Palladino.
Yes.
6 ayes.
Excellent. Motion carried, and that should take care of this agenda item.
Brad, thanks very much.
Thank you, Brad.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good night all.
All right. Now we'll move on to Balchem Corporation, also known as Project Dairy. We had a public hearing on this in July, and we're looking to consider the final resolution. Bill, would you lead us off?
Yes, we did have a
May
public.
interrupt you. I am going to need to excuse myself for a potential conflict of interest. I'll get up and leave. Last time I did that, you didn't come get me. So all of you that were here knew, thank you, ma'am.
I'll get you in the kitchen, all right. Oh, left. All right, now that Mark's gone, we did hold a public hearing. We had only positive responses there. We had no one opposing the project whatsoever. This is for Balchem. It's a retention project for us to save 32 jobs and 4 jobs would be created with the prospect of attracting additional R&D work back to Orange County, so we're excited about it. And this is really final approval, a vote on the final approval of their incentives. A 15-year pilot and sales tax exemption to be awarded.
Any questions from the board? And that starts on page of our packet. Well, the authorizing resolution starts on page 44, but just before that is the transcript from the public hearing starting on page 27. I did attend that public hearing and reinforce what Bill just said, that there were no negative comments and only positive ones. Would anyone care to make that motion to approve the final resolution for Balchem Corporation?
Make resolution.
Doc Oda, thank you. So you make the motion to approve. And second to that motion? Second by Giovanni, thank you. Any other discussion, questions? If you need a minute to further look at that resolution, that's fine. Rudy, you are on board for this one?
Yes, I am.
Any comments from your end?
It's very straightforward. It mirrors the inducement resolution that we entered into a few months ago. The applicant is seeking $11 million of sales tax exemptions, which would be $906,000 in savings approximately, as well as the pilot agreement, as Bill had mentioned. Once the authorizing resolution is approved, if it's approved, then we will work with the applicant to closing, preparing all the necessary documents.
The only thing I would ask is that, I know we've done this in the past, and maybe just run through the project quickly for anybody who hasn't heard it and whatnot, like was plans are to keep the team pool, et cetera, since he's here.
Sure. Who would like to speak on behalf of Balchem to maybe give us a little recap of the
Yes,
project?
I appreciate it.
And the employment, being specifically asked about the employment plan.
Sure.
Hey, Andrew?
Yeah, sure.
Great,
So-
please, if you would.
Yeah, so no problem. My name is Andrew Day. It's nice to meet you all here. Thank you for having us. So this is, like you mentioned, is a retention plan. So we'll be bringing our facility from Slate Hill and manufacturing a brand new building in the town of Wallkill. We're looking to target somewhere around 32 or so employees, plus the prospect of R&D facility being put into that new facility as well. I don't know if any of you know about what we do at that facility, but we're a microencapsulation facility, so food ingredients that are being sold to a lot of the big food manufacturers that you might know of. We're putting that product into the final product that's coming to a lot of the materials that show up on our table and here at the food bank too. So we're excited about it. It's nice to keep this in the area. I'm originally from Middletown myself, in Scotchtown area, actually about a mile and a half from where this plant is, so it's actually really good to see that this is going to stay in this area.
Would you mention, and I'm aware, but just for the board, what do those encapsulations do for the final product?
Oh, sure. So one of the ones that I like to talk about a lot is it's a meat product, a meat shear product. That's what we call it. Salt goes into a lot of frozen hamburger meat. When you get a burger, you want it to be nice and juicy and red and beautiful. But if you put salt into hamburger meat, it'll start to turn it kind of a nasty grayish color, which is no good. Nobody wants to see that. But you also like a nice salty burger. So some frozen meat companies will buy our encapsulated salt. So it's just a vegetable oil coating that goes around each individual granule of salt that gets put into the hamburger meat. It does nothing to affect the actual performance of the meat, but it affects the flavor profile dramatically because now you've got that salt introduced into the meat. It does nothing inside of the freezer, but when you take it out, you put it on the grill. Again, just a vegetable oil coating, melts off, administers that salt into the meat. Now you've got the nice juicy red burger that you want when you're seeing it coming out, but you're also getting that salt delivery inside of the meat. So it's those types of applications, but it goes across multiple platforms: confectionery business, meat products like I mentioned, tortillas. There's all sorts of applications that use that technology. But again, it's that micro encapsulation, and it's been in the area for decades.
Thank you.
Interesting.
thank
Yeah, I
you.
appreciate all that. That's,
no problem.
That's great.
Any other thoughts, comments before I ask for the roll call vote? Roll call vote, please.
Jeffrey Christ?
In
Oh,
favor?
before that, do we get a motion? Is there a
I
motion?
think we
Oh,
did. Did we do? Yeah.
It was, right, yeah.
Thank you, I'm sorry. I
Yeah, yeah.
apologize.
No problem.
Jeffrey Christ?
Good to check. In favor?
Dr. Odock?
In favor.
Ian
Yeah,
Camber?
yes.
Linda Muller?
Yes.
Giovanni Palladino?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 abstention. Hugo.
Motion carried. Congratulations. Look forward to working with you.
Yes.
Excited for your project.
Mr.
Us too.
Chairman,
Thank you very much.
if I could, I'd just like to say now that it's approved, this is a culmination of over a decade of work of the Orange County Economic Development Team, really trying to retain this group. Amanda, Dana, and I worked on this over 10 years ago in different capacities. I know Mr. Gross has helped, but I also want to commend the Orange County Partnership. They've really done the bulk of this over the last few years to find this and find the locations out of Walden. So very appreciative of your help in bringing and keeping it out.
Thank you, guys. Team effort. Good to do with that.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil, for those comments. Moving on to Cedar Lakes.
I gotta get my guy up there.
That's Nate.
I could've got it.
Oh, the guy that's the troublemaker?
I did. He did it.
And I might mention, this application for financial assistance starts on page 49 of your board packet.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, welcome back.
You forgot me.
This time was on purpose.
Not the first, not even today.
I just mentioned the application for Cedar Lakes Estate starts on page 49. That's our next agenda item. Bill, would you start us off?
Yes, if you're not familiar with Cedar Lakes Estate, you should be. It's an absolutely astounding facility in technically the town of Greenville. I know they have a Port Jervis address. Very important on that end of the county, as you can imagine. Few venues like this, few hospitality venues as well. They've been very successful in I don't want to steal all your thunder, but in attracting high-end corporate retreats and weddings. And now they're looking to expand, adding another 20 units, adding I think 13 positions. And it will not only increase sales tax from what they're generating, but also additional bed tax. And a lot of their overflow guests now, there's nowhere to stay besides Pennsylvania. So it's not only bringing it into Orange County, but bringing it into the state. So I know I'm going to introduce Lisa Carvelis, one of the owners. Are you the CEO?
Yeah.
Right. She and her sister Stephanie founded this and have led it, and Jennifer Leo is part of the team. And I'll just leave it up to you, Lisa. If you just, and I've got your video ready to go. But
Sure.
if you just stand up and
Yeah.
Kristen,
Welcome.
Get started.
Well, I don't want to repeat myself, so there is a big intro in the video, so I'd love to play that and answer any questions you have, but we're thrilled to be here and excited for you all to learn more.
Right.
Hi, I'm Lisa Carvelis. I am one of the owners of Cedar Lakes Estate. I run this business with my sister Stephanie, and we absolutely love what we do. Our 500-acre property was developed in 1929 by the New York Mission Society as a summer retreat for underprivileged African American children. It was a truly beautiful organization that ran for nearly 50 years and still hosts annual reunions up here.
Oh, hold on, I issue. This one's doing it to me.
Is it loud enough or am I just too far?
I control the TV. I have this earlier.
Right there?
No, right here.
Oh, it's hidden. Oh, didn't see that, thank you.
Never find a remote.
Yeah.
Refresh this page.
Showing strong Wi-Fi signal.
Lord. How do they not have sound now? Channels.
Session. Hi, Maggie. We're having a little technical issue with the video screen.
Those are imperfect. Yeah.
I think we're, yeah, I don't see that. This is like a, this is for the TV actually.
Is there an HDMI?
Kristen's coming right up.
Here you go.
No, there should be something on there that says connected device or something.
Bill, actually, let me see that. I see TV.
Sort of really, 'cause I think I changed the channel when I was trying to turn it up.
It's down here. Wow. The pressure's on now. Let's try this one. Well, anyways, the source.
There's a lot of sources.
It's going up right now.
Yes.
I'm tapping out.
We have someone coming right up. Hi, Kristen. We're having a little trouble with the video screen
I think
connecting.
you need the remote. I think we changed the source.
Say where's the
PC,
remote?
try that.
Yeah, you can't change the source.
I did it by mistake.
My sister Stephanie, and
Is that it? You got it? That's it.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well done.
This might be interesting if you got just a couple minutes to see, in case we have more trouble.
absolutely love.
There's a seat back here if you want.
You got it.
He's got it.
You got it already. All right, Lucas.
I got it.
What we do. Our 500-acre property was developed in 1929 by the New York Mission Society as a summer retreat for underprivileged African American children. It was a truly beautiful organization that ran for nearly 50 years and still hosts annual reunions up here. My family bought the property in 1986. In the 90s, my parents transformed it into Team USA gymnastics and soccer camp. Growing up here was any child's dream. White Christmases, fresh mountain air, and lazy lakeside summer days made a profound impact on me and my sister, and we knew we would always find our way back here. So, in 2010, we decided to breathe new life into the property, and we opened Cedar Lakes Estate. Over the past 15 years, we grew to become the premier venue in the country to host private events for very high-profile, high-net-worth individuals. We also host corporate retreats from companies from a wide range of industries, everyone from Google, Goldman Sachs, Wall Street Journal. In the wintertime, we open to the public and operate as a boutique hotel. In fact, Travel and Leisure magazine ranked us as the #1 hotel in New York and the #5 hotel in the country for 2024. We are incredibly proud of our accomplishments, but of all the honors we have received, we are most proud of being voted one of Inc. magazine's best places to work this year. My sister and my life's work is taking care of the team here, and their well-being is truly our top priority. When COVID hit, even before any support was available, we made the decision to not lay off a single employee or reduce any of their benefits during the entire year, despite not being able to generate any revenue. Still today, we contribute 75% to employee healthcare premiums, offer college loan payback programs, and a robust 401k plan, all of which are unheard of in our industry. According to the Orange County Partnership, the average wage of someone working in hospitality is $38,000. The average for our employees is $67,000. Our salaried workers earn an average of $78,500 per year, but our investment goes beyond the benefits and wages. Since 2017, we've hired 578 employees, 77% of whom have been from Orange County. We like to hire local, typically young and inexperienced employees and introduce them to the world of hospitality. We take them off their phones and teach them life skills like confidence, multitasking, and conflict resolution. We develop and promote from within and show them that moving from entry-level employment to management is the rule here. Right here in the Mid-Hudson Valley. As a result, we experience an employee turnover rate that is 62% lower than the industry average, and that is the key to our success. I am proud of the multiplier effect we've had by purposefully sourcing in New York. Even though we also border Pennsylvania and New Jersey, 86% of our purchases are from New York vendors. We are a strong community partner, supporting multiple local nonprofits every year with heavily discounted events, and we will continue to do so moving forward.
We plan to begin a $10 million construction project in the next year to build 20 additional guest rooms, allowing us not only to host larger corporate groups, but also host the 1,360 overflow wedding guests who, instead of spending the night at Cedar Lakes, stay.
It goes beyond.
I'm so sorry.
It goes beyond.
Back.
Sleepy Pine Cottages, built 12 years to bring 15,000 unique visitors to the Mid-Hudson region each year and capture an additional $250,000 in annual sales and occupancy taxes. Here you see our Sleepy Pine Cottages, built 12 years ago. The new Meadow House cottages will be similar in size and layout, but built with an elevated design more in line with our current luxury brand. Pictured here is a rendering of our newly constructed glass house, which better showcases that level of quality and design.
We have transformed this 100-year-old summer camp into a luxury hotel, pouring every dollar we made back into this historic site. But as we continue our journey, we know we cannot complete this project without your partnership. Thank you for your time and for your consideration.
Right.
Wow, thank you, Kristen.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Let it work.
So yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, I was like so solemn in that video. We rewatched them like, oh, I'm so serious. I'm not like that in person. But does anybody have any questions about that or anything else?
The glass house, is that already done or is it part of this
It
project?
is done. We just got approval yesterday from the planning board
Wonderful.
to finally start using it. But yeah, it's like it's 90% complete. The entry vestibule needs a little stonework and stuff, but it's pretty much done.
And that'll house your ceremonies mostly? Or?
Yeah, so that was, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it rained every single weekend in 2022, 2023, and 2024. And people kept adding 10-star property, which was like such a mess for so many reasons I could get into. But we were like, we need to build a permanent glass structure, tent. We built it too nice, now everyone wants to use it for everything else. But yeah, it was intended for that, for grand plan ceremonies.
And if I could also, can you tell us about the planning board process? And you're in the beginning of that to go through it?
For this project?
Yes, for this project.
We haven't started it yet because we wanted to complete one thing, and literally last night we got the approval, so now we will bring it to them.
Great.
And start the process with them. But we have a great relationship with them, and everything we've ever done with them has been easy peasy, so.
We appreciate you bringing the project to us early.
Yeah.
But just so you know, we can't make any approval of any incentives until you have a secret determination through the planning board process. So
Okay.
just so you know the timeline there.
Sure.
But tonight the board will consider authorizing a public hearing, so we can move forward that way.
Great. Sounds
So far, I don't know, if you mentioned the total employees.
Yes, so we have 130 employees currently. I don't know what the full-time equivalent is, right around there.
Yeah.
Let's say 120, because we have a few part-timers in there. And this will, I mean, we were very conservative in our estimations for you all, but it will be at least 13 additional full-time equivalent employees for this project. And that's mostly housekeepers, bellhop, reservationists. There will be an additional salaried manager, things like that.
Are you seeking any other incentives or support outside of the IDA for this project?
We are, we don't speak to
Yes,
that.
we've applied for the CFA for funding as well.
For Empire State Development?
That's right.
In this round?
Very good.
Yeah. It's here. That's first of all. Aw. She said,
I thought we did last time.
oh, well, that's not that.
But it was the same,
Oh,
it's the same.
okay.
We just pushed it, yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Other questions for Lisa?
Well, how does that, the Empire, say, how does that work? Is it similar to this, or they pretty much go ahead, or I'm just curious?
So that, we find out more, go ahead.
So we applied, and the process is somewhat similar. Everybody is looking for what can we do for the state of New York. We are going through that process now. It's a very in-depth application process. We pretty much the same thing. We need to make sure that we have a planning board approval in place. We need to make sure that we are passing the environmental requirements for any kind of funding. And it really is the same process, but we literally, both of these applications went in at the same time. This is simply because we now really know what we're doing. This project is fully, how would you say, it's fully congealed, and we know exactly what we're building, so we're kind of doing a double push at the same time. Simply because, and what we didn't see in the video is that, this project faces quite a few headwinds when it comes to utility, because we have, many people probably have experienced the same, but when you're working in a rural area, the infrastructure from the utility is generally underdeveloped. They really have no impetus or desire to develop it any further. This has caused us problems multiple times. First of all, it was our attempt to be 100% solar driven. As soon as we tried to do that, we found out that the substation that served our property was not robust enough to accept the backfeed that comes from a solar project. So we had to cut our solar project in half. Now we're going to be 60% solar. So things like that, and the other.
And the crazy expense
Yeah.
that it's put on us to increase the substation and all of that.
So we expect to have to contribute another $2.5 million just to get the electric infrastructure in place. Because we have to buy three-phase electric lines to go from the substation all the way to our property, which is 1.2 miles. It's going to serve everybody else on the line as well, but those people could live without it. I mean, and also we have a very sophisticated clientele. That clientele expects internet speeds, the speed of light. And, right now, anything that you get that is locally available, it really is not serving them. And so we're having to invest heavily into fiber optics to be brought to the property at a very large expense as well. So it's kind of like the project itself is going to be extremely expensive, but there's so many things surrounding it that we have to do in order to kind of like raise ourselves up. But we have a huge commitment to doing that.
And I would also imagine that if that's the fact that where you're located, you might lose power. That could be an issue as well, especially with events going on.
Well, we have generator power for every building now that guests use, yeah. And that was a project we did, like, when was that, 4 years ago?
It's been ongoing.
Yeah.
Every
which is
single time
another-
something is built, or, for example, the glass house is another massive generator that we have to, put in place. So and the interesting thing about Cedar Lakes is the character of the site is what makes it so different. It's the thing that is so lovely about it, the fact that you enter a property and there's all these destinations and all these beautiful vignettes and buildings and all that kind of stuff. But every single building, when you're talking about 60 buildings, is 4 walls, a roof, an HVAC system, and all of that. So everything that we do is just kind of like it's a massive labor of love. I can say that because it isn't my business. I joined 8 8 years ago or something like that. And at the time, I was coming from corporate life, came and saw what they were doing, was just so intrigued with just the huge passion that the sisters bring to the property. I will say it's nothing like I've ever seen before. The way they treat their employees, the way they're committed to this business and perfection. It has really, it's so interesting to watch how they take every single dollar and put it right back into the property. It's a labor of love, and it is because their DNA is in that property. Her father built the most beautiful home right on the lake. You know, they just celebrated her sister's wedding. Her other sister also got married there. They celebrate at the house, but every guest, they focus so much on making that guest have the experience of their lifetime. It is just an absolute pure passion. But, you know, like I said, everything is coming from within. Everything is more expensive. I watch it happen. We had a conversation today in our meeting about how, you know, it's just like the marching forward of expenses growing and growing and growing. And, you know, it's time for them to get to them, I think, because they've done a lot.
And we've never asked for anything.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
they're-
they've done a lot already.
They're passionate, obviously, we pass it on to you,
Yeah.
just what you speak about, obviously, so.
Yes.
And I would love for everyone to come see us. We do dinners on Sundays in the wedding season, Saturdays or.
You can't afford to go there.
You can, but you're my guest, yeah.
What's your time frame?
So we're hoping to, we're pretty far down the line with our architects of like what we want the rooms to look and feel like. Once the architectural drawings are ready to go, it'll take probably 2.5 years of construction. So we're targeting 2028.
So there won't be like phases, there's no.
There won't be phases at this time, but I don't know if I was saying earlier, we're always building, we're always growing. So, you know, this is phase 1 for this project, but by the time we're there, there's gonna be more.
Doc, go Doc, I think, kind of question?
Yes, very attractive project, interesting. But my question is, can the project continue with you without financial input from IBA?
Yes, so if we don't get the funding, we would have to kind of step back and relook at the project because we're kind of going forward and planning on it based on, you know, the funding that we hope to get. It will move forward, but in a different way. Is that your question?
Yes.
Sorry, okay, yeah. But what's exciting is, you know, we book weddings 1.5 years in advance. So, and it's in their contract that they have to rent every single room on the property, or their guests do. So it's like we have full occupancy from the day we open, and we can guarantee that 1.5 years in advance, which is unlike any other business. It's, you know.
Yeah, I would like to add to that. You know, it makes actually the financial modeling a very simple process because you really are. You know exactly how much a person earns when they spend the night, when they eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all you're doing is, okay, so since it is a full buy of the property, and those people are now on site, it's a multiplication effect. It's a very simple thing. So when, you know, we talk about $250,000 in sales taxes on an annual basis, that's a number that we can really
Stand on.
It's not something that's just high and sky.
Mark, did you have something else? I didn't mean to cut you off.
So, you know, you've come to us and, you know, have you look through the commitments from you to, you know, if you are fortunate enough to get this funding, are you 100% understand the local labor and all those type of things, because, you know,
Yeah.
those are rather non-negotiable.
Absolutely, and you know, it's something that we've been practicing before I even knew this committee existed, to be honest. Like she said, I mean, I think it all came down to when Orange and Rockland gave us this huge price tag and we were like, what can we do? And that's when we started thinking about, okay, how can we actually reach out for help? Because we're doing a lot. We're the biggest employer, or one of the biggest employers in this area. And like we said, we treat people really well and we're really committed to it. I mean, that's our staff is more important than our guests 100% of the time. And what was the stat? I forget the percentage, but everyone's local. We're not.
Look, I'm the only guy from the netherworld of the county, so I'm somewhat biased.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that,
Yeah.
you know, and from a distance I've seen you grow and do those things.
Yeah.
So, is it binary if you get the funding through the other agency? Is it that or this, or are you
We
looking
need
for
both.
both?
We need both.
And, you know, if you can ask for whatever you want, and what you get is going to be whatever is possible, right? So there's two different numbers. I mean, as much as we're saying what we're asking for a certain number, you know, we can just hope that we can get it, for sure. It's not guaranteed.
Bill?
Yeah, Amanda Dana, the county's Director of Tourism and Film is here, so I thought maybe we get her perspective on the project.
Yeah, so I do come from the economic development side, so I know how important this funding, these benefits can be to you. I just have to say that this property, Cedar Lake Estates, has been such a tremendous partner to us. As long as I've been in my role for 7 years, and before that, when I was in economic development, there is no ask that we have asked from them that they didn't say, okay, we'll do it, we'll help, we'll do whatever we can. We have travel writers, we have people from the industry coming in, they all want to be at this property. And you've been so gracious to us, and it's just been really refreshing. But on the economic development side, there are potentially other venues that they could attract now, because now they do have that extra rooms that they could accommodate larger events. Those larger events are bringing more money and more people to Orange County. And they don't just stay there on property, as much as there's so much to do there and it's so much fun. They do go out and they venture out and they spend money in our community. So it's really, really important to get behind this, because it really is a multiplier involved here. And again, this is one of our top properties in the country, is right here in Orange County. And they even have some global accolades too, which she didn't mention, but you know, County Nest and then the rest, but this is a special, special property, to the point where people are trying to emulate exactly what they're doing. And so we are looking very good with having that property in Orange County. So thank you so much for the commitment and staying here.
Mr. Chairman, the last thing I'll mention is, as is our practice, I reached out to the municipal leader of the host municipalities in the town of Greenville. I spoke with Supervisor Zubikowski about this project. He's a big, big fan of Cedar Lakes Estate and very supportive of this project. So we did speak with the local supervisor.
Excellent. Can you help me with the page number on the resolution?
I don't find the resolution in the
Yeah,
packet.
I thought I had it in my original packet.
Those one copies?
No, it's just
Just the one.
It's a standard, similar reviews in the past.
An inducement resolution to authorize the public.
I would just review that. Bruce?
It was.
Sure. I love it. Not read.
The inducement resolution would be just approving the IDA to move forward, to have the public hearing, and then after receiving comment from the community, you come back for the authorizing resolution. As the presentation set forth, it's a $10 million project. They are asking for exemptions for $6.8 million worth of purchases. That would be approximately $552,000 worth of sales tax exemptions, as well as stating that they will create 13 new full-time jobs within 3 years when the project is complete.
Any questions on that, board? This is what we'll be voting on. Can we have the public hearing before the secret process is done?
Yes, you just cannot have the authorizing resolution.
So is the ask only for sales tax or a pilot also?
Pilot, 10-year pilot, there are standard category.
Other questions before I call for the vote? Everybody understand what we're taking action on here? Just authorizing the public hearing. And did we have a motion on that yet?
No.
I would entertain a motion for the resolution regarding Cedar Lakes Estate LLC project.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Giovanni, second by Mark Green, thank you. And does this need to be a roll call vote?
Yes, it's a resolution, yeah.
Roll call vote, please.
Jeffrey Christ,
In favor?
Dr. Vincent Olda,
Right.
Mark Green,
Yes.
Dean Tim Murray.
Yes.
Linda Muller.
Yes.
Giovanni Palladini.
Yes.
6 ayes.
Motion carried. good luck with your project.
Yeah.
We'll be in
Be in
touch to
touch.
schedule a public hearing.
Yeah, I was
We'll
gonna,
hold
is
that in
that
the
usually
host
like, a
municipality.
month, and then a month after kind of thing?
You know, we usually do it the next month, but given your timeline, we may, take a little time, but
Yeah. Okay.
we'll work it out with you.
Great.
And we'll do it in your green belt.
Thanks, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thanks for
nice
being
meeting
here.
all of you.
Yeah.
Take
Have a
care.
good night.
Good night.
See
Thanks
you
for being
later.
here, gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Don't leave with the remote.
Yeah, it's all just.
Leave the remote.
Shut that off. You know the power button? There we go. Thanks for being here, if not for nothing else.
Steve. Take care,
Oh, he's free next month if you
Yeah.
Moving back up the agenda to the minutes, we have a little bit of technical issue on knowing who made the motion for the minutes from the May 14th, 2025 meeting. So my understanding is we should make that motion again. And I don't know if we have those minutes handy. They're in the packet? Okay, that's easy. On page 4. And am I understanding that right? We need a new motion just so we can properly document it?
Yeah.
Would anyone care to make a motion on those May 14th minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Motion in favor by Giovanni.
Second.
Dean, second, thank you. Other discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, the same.
I think I
Motion.
have to abstain, I wasn't there.
Correct.
You know, Dean wasn't there either.
No, on June I was. That's what I was told last.
It's not showing you're not here.
You're not here for May.
May I?
You and me.
I have some slack.
We were told before that we didn't have to stay.
You both were down at the same time?
That's what I thought too, but we did clarify with council again, is that recommended that they don't vote if they were absent. I think that was the last word from me.
That's my understanding, but yeah, I didn't have that conversation.
Yeah, so,
It's conflicting.
but we're gonna go with current council.
Who seconded it?
Dean, so we need a new
Start
second.
over.
Yeah, let's
Right.
start over on the, Giovanni made a motion to
Yeah.
approve those May 14th
We got
minutes.
it on the end.
And we need a second somewhere.
He tried.
Mark, thank you.
Thank
A
you.
second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Abstentions?
I abstain.
Anybody against? So we have 4 in favor, 2 abstentions.
Right.
Thank you. How about the June 26th minutes for 2025? And Dean, you weren't there either. And Giovanni.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, good, Linda. Motion to approve the, what are these minutes?
June 26th.
26, yes. Second by Mark Green. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstentions? Dean and Giovanni. Those minutes are approved. Moving on to committee reports. Finance Committee, Mark, please.
This is gonna be a little bit more in depth. So, real quick, we did have one application fee from Balchem. We did have a minor late charge on a credit card. The only reason I say that is that's just a little more homing we have to do on our accounting. If you are looking at the numbers, there are some real variances, and part of that is due to business that's going on. You know, we had higher expenses for stenographers for the Amazon public hearing. We also are winding down the Hudson Valley quality of life. We had higher expenses with our tech support because we had to live stream some of those public hearings. We had, legal counsel. Some of our expenses were higher because we had conflicts of interest in our legal, so we had to hire a different legal counsel there. But also was really quick an overpayment, so we're going to get back $11,000 of that overpayment. And then also there are just some pass-through costs. We have these brownfield things that are going on, and so even though we get reimbursed quickly, there is a gap there. So Those are some of the anomalies that are on the budget. The snafu so I'm sorry, so June, again, we can only vote on the June financials. We're fine, the CDs aren't due, but again, it causes the snafu for next month, which that's why we can't approve it. Also, real quick on our vendor, again, the brownfield situation, that's why you're seeing, legal services, Blakely and Platt. Halfway down the page, HRP Associates, brownfield reimbursement. These are pass-throughs, but they hit and they look like big numbers. We had, Fellinger Engineering, that comes out of our drawdown account for Royal Wine, I believe Phase 2. Again, Conflict Council, and then if you look again, our court reporting services, there was a big number again, stenographer for those public hearings. So, good news, we're having these hearings because that means business, but there are some anomalies with our normal expenses. I'm going to leave it roughly at that, but if there are any specific questions, I'll gladly try to answer them.
Not for me, but I just want to say is that there's things going on, which is a good thing.
Yes.
We have pass-throughs and whatever, but these are good things that we have going on. And with the brownfields and et cetera, did a great explanation, but there's a lot going on, which is positive.
So I would say, again, just like we did with FC, that we should really just approve the June. And I can walk through the July ones real quick and explain why we really can't approve those just yet, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Why don't we approve the June financials and payables, and then you can explain the others. Is that okay? Would anyone care to make that motion? Second by Dean, thank you. And I would say the Finance Committee recommended we approve the June financials and payables. Any questions on those? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried, thank you. And then July.
We decided to go through July to see if there are any glitches. That way we know of one. This way we can hopefully make this much quicker next month. But again, a lot of the same stuff that we talked about, the Amazon scenario, Balchem scenario, Royal Wine is in Phase 2 now. We all of a sudden, it looks like we're getting higher income, but that's just the reimbursement from the previous month that we just talked about. So a lot of stuff going on as far as that goes. But the real glitch to where we are right now came down to the CDs. If you go to page 16, the problem is that Provident Bank rolled over, and unfortunately we didn't update the new interest rate that we got and the new maturity date. So as a committee, we didn't feel comfortable approving these until we get that kind of straightened out. Again, we authorized it, it's good, we're invested, but as far as on paper, we just don't feel comfortable because it just isn't documented properly. So that's why we're not going to approve these financials today. Any questions about that?
The only thing I would say is that when we do this next month, we shouldn't have to recap all of this. I think we did a great job, and we'll recap it once we have obviously the document.
I hope not, because I'll forget it.
Well, we do too.
Yeah. Very good. So I believe that completes the Finance Committee report for today. Governance Committee, Linda, would you give us an update there, please?
Absolutely. So as you can see under new business, I'm just gonna kind of go through those. The local labor policy, we went through this with great consideration both from our monitor as well as our council, and we think it's prudent, and the recommendation of the committee is to just have a local labor policy and remove any references to procurement, because it's really, really difficult for us to monitor that. So the recommendation is to change it just to a straight labor policy. And that is the recommendation of the committee.
Any questions on that? We will need to take a motion and vote at this board level on that. Could we do that now? That work?
Hope so.
Would someone make that motion, please?
Make a motion.
Motion by Doc Oduck, second by Mark Green. And this is concerning the changes to the local labor policy to make it a local labor only policy.
And those changes, the red line piece are on pages 101 and 102 of your packets, if you want to look at that. See the piece that, the verbiage that Lynn was talking about.
And that was in our packet as well. If we're ready to take the motion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any vote? Yeah. Those,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
opposed to that? Dean's opposed, abstentions. It's just for the record, I'm in favor, so it's 5 in favor, 1 opposed. That motion is carried.
Okay.
Go
The
ahead.
second thing is, on the fee schedule, we have decided as a committee we're gonna do a little different presentation comparing what we have to what we're recommending, so we've tabled that to the September meeting. At that time, we'll move the fee schedule forward. And lastly is to designate an ethics officer, which we have, again, with our advisor from Mansion as well as our council, had a lot of conversation about how to do this and what to do. This is going to require a bylaws change, so I will draft that language to come back before the governance committee at our next meeting, and then get it out to committee and ask for the vote. So no action on that item.
Any questions, comments for Linda in governance? Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
We had a lot of discussion between
It was a long
finance
meeting.
and governance, yes.
We did encroach a little bit on our finance.
I guess you're back. You're back on schedule.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
And I believe what's next is the chairman's report, and I would just say, not having our July meeting worked out fine. I would thank the board for adjusting the timing partly to mitigate that longer space between meetings to moving this August meeting up to today's date. That worked out well, I think, Bill. So thank you for that. And we'll certainly got some stuff going on with today's meeting and looking forward in a lot of different directions. And I'll let Bill review his report, which is also in your packet on a lot of that stuff.
I missed that, I'm sorry.
So, it's time for your CEO report.
Yes.
And tell us what's going on.
For sure, yeah, you have my report in your packet, so I won't expand too much on that. I'll just talk about 2 things. One, I do want to formally introduce our intern, Mr. Nathan Dubner.
Welcome.
He's a student at RPI, my alma mater, so really it's fun to have him here. He's been working on a number of projects with all 3 of us. He's updated our new website. He checked our old website versus our new website to make sure all the documents related to every project, there were some missing. He did a lot of combing through with that. He also is working on an operations manual, so we can kind of formalize a lot of the work that we do in case, God forbid, one of us gets hit by a bus. We have it documented, so he's off to a great start on that. And he's probably something he's going to continue when he goes back to school. And he also, Brian might like this, he helped us develop a tracker for our recommendations for Mansion. You know, green done, yellow in progress, don't look at the reds. So that's really helpful. So he's taken on a number of meaningful projects, and it's actually been really helpful to have him here. So just really want to welcome him and thank him. We had a busy agenda, so I didn't set him up to present, but I reserve the right to do that in the future. Okay? Bring him back for a little presentation.
Thank you for all the great work, we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
And then lastly, I was at New York State EDC's IDA Academy last week out in Ithaca, actually beautiful Ithaca, my first time being there. We go to the Cooperstown conference and the one in Albany. These are specific trainings for IDAs, so, and I was really appreciative of having that organization and being able to bring colleagues around. There's so much still for us to learn. So it was a great training, day-long training. The authority's budget office was there giving their training on all their guidelines and their requirements, so that was great to have them in person. They also gave us legislative updates about bills and laws that affect IDAs and where they'll stand, and the work that New York State EDC has done to advocate on our behalf to make sure that they're favorable for IDAs. They also had a couple really good panel discussions about housing and energy power. Terrific experts that were there, especially on housing. You know, we're just getting into it. We added it to our UTEP. There are still a lot of questions of how you monitor certain things, how you enforce some pieces, and a lot of questions that have come from developers already. So I've got some, I went right up to the panel afterward, you know, got cards and people that I can call on when we have these questions. So another really valuable conference or mini training from New York State EDC.
And I think you're working on a summary of that meeting, just
Yes.
highlights for
Absolutely. I'll send that all
particularly
to you.
me, but to the whole board, that makes sense.
That's all.
I'd like to know some of the, like, some of the laws coming up, or some of the things that have passed that affect.
They have that in the presentation. I'll send that to you. So I've got some slides together plus my own notes, and I'll polish that up and get it to you.
Anything else that needs to come, or any other questions for Bill first on his report? And for today's meeting, I would like to thank our staff for everything, and Ethan, welcome being aboard, Dylan for the live stream. Thank you, Bill, for preparing us all, and good to have strong attendance when we moved the meeting. Susan Wilson was unable to make this, but we picked the best date for the most people and making it work. So thank you all for being here, and unless there's anything else to come before us today, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Giovanni, second by me. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned, and it's 6:19.
I also have condolence.